The Gulf of Alaska, a place where the horizon is a seamless weld of cold sea and iron-gray sky. Here, beauty and danger are synonyms. It is a landscape that swallows mistakes. And for the crew of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Whitaker, a standard patrol is about to turn into a confrontation with a silent, drifting killer. Chief Boatswain's mate Mara Ortiz spots it first. A dark anomaly disrupting the blue. It isn't ice, it isn't a whale. It is a shadow lurking just beneath the surface. What sailors call ghost gear. Commanding Officer Amanda McKay orders the Whitaker to slow its bells. Caution is the currency of survival here. Executive Officer Park confirms the sighting. A massive derelict fishing net, snarled and drifting. But this isn't just floating debris, it's a trap that never stops hunting. Mara Ortiz, seasoned and sharp, takes point on the assessment. She's been with the Coast Guard for 14 years. Before that, she grew up on her father's fishing boat in Kodiak. She knows nets. She knows what they can do when no one's watching. As the cutter closes the distance, the first thing that hits them isn't the sight, it's the smell. Rotting kelp, degrading plastic, decay. The net isn't free-floating. It's anchored by a heavy sagging mass below, a cloud of debris suspended in the water column. And inside that cloud movement, the decision is made. They can't leave this hazard to drift. It's a navigational threat and a biological black hole. Mara leads the deck team. Alongside her is Seaman Talia Reed, 22 and eager to prove herself, and machinery technician Haynes, a quiet veteran who speaks mostly with his hands. They launch the small boat, dropping down to the water level where the smell becomes a physical weight. As they approach the lee side to avoid the ocean's push, the scale of the horror reveals itself. The net is a tangled tomb, but among the dead, there are survivors. A tail thrashes. A dorsal fin cuts the water. Haynes confirms the target, sharks. Salmon sharks, panicked and entangled, thrashing alongside seals and crabs. Mara knows the estimates over 500,000 tons of fishing gear lost or abandoned in the ocean every year. But statistics are abstract. The shark convulsing against a nylon mesh just 3 feet from their gunwale is dangerously real. The operation requires the precision of a bomb disposal unit. One wrong cut, one shift in the current, and the net could envelop the small boat or the prop could foul, leaving them trapped alongside panicked predators. The first freed prisoner is a mackerel, then a crab, tumbling into the deep. Mara signals for stillness, slowly, carefully. The knife slides between flesh and plastic. With a final slice, the seal is free. It hesitates, stunned, before vanishing into the safety of the deep. But the ocean offers no victory lap. The net convulses. A shark strikes from below. The small boat rocks dangerously. Mara has seen footage of fishermen dragged overboard by similar tangles. They are working on top of a predator that is slowly being strangled. They have to keep cutting. Hours bleed into the evening. The cold seeps through thermal layers, turning fingers to wood. A Jayhawk helicopter arrives with supplies, thermal gear, provisions, and a thermal imaging camera to track movement beneath the surface. It hovers briefly, crew exchanging quick salutes before banking away into the darkening sky. The thermal feed confirms what Mara feared. There are more animals down there, deeper, still alive. Night changes the equation. The Whitaker's spotlights turn the work area into a stark stage surrounded by infinite black. The wind shifts. The sea swells. Suddenly, a tensioned line shears. It whips past the coxswain, grazing his shoulder, a few inches to the left, and it would have shattered bone. He swears, ducks, but holds the boat steady.
Backup line now.
Adrenaline replaces warmth. They are exhausted, freezing, and operating on muscle memory. Haynes taps his wrist. It's late. It's dangerous, but Mara sees movement in the mesh. A seal pup, barely visible. She thinks of her father, of the nets he pulled, of the lives he saved when no one was counting. They can't stop. Not yet. After a brief respite for heat and coffee, they resume at first light. The net has drifted, but the Whitaker has held its vigil. Now only the heavy hitters remain. 2 sharks exhausted but alive. This is the most dangerous phase. For 6 hours, they inch the net upward. They cut the nylon binding the sharks, trying not to trigger a thrashing response that could capsize them. One shark goes limp, a survival instinct. It slips free and sinks into the depths. The second fights. It slams the net, vibrating the hull of the small boat.
Not like this.
With a final jagged cut, the fin pulls through. The shark explodes away from the boat, alive. But the net itself, the net still has to come up. They rig a heavy hoisting line. The Whitaker's capstan groans, the steel singing under the tension. As the belly of the net rises, the water pours out, revealing the true cost of this ghost gear. It is a graveyard, fragments of baleen, vertebrae of dolphins, skeletons of seabirds. This net has been killing for a long time. It has traveled thousands of miles, collecting lives in a senseless loop of entrapment. By the time the mass is secured on deck, the adrenaline has faded, leaving only a heavy silence. Commander McKay stands with hands in her pockets. No speech is just a silent acknowledgement of a job that is necessary, gruesome, and never truly finished. 2 days later, Ketchikan. The net is offloaded. It takes a truck to haul away the mast that nearly claimed a dozen more lives. For Mara, Reed, and the crew, the physical wounds, the cuts, the bruises will heal. But the memory of the seal's eye, the shark's thrashing fin, and the sheer weight of that net lingers. An email arrives days later. A marine mammal tracking group identified the seal from a photo Reed snapped. It survived, it's out there, swimming free. It's a small victory in a war measured in hundreds of thousands of tons of debris. But as the Whitaker pushes back out into the gray, charted for the next patrol, Mara knows one thing for certain. That net is gone. And in the vast, unforgiving silence of the Alaskan Gulf, that has to be enough. If this story stayed with you, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Every view helps us tell more stories like this one. Stories of the people working where the map goes dark.
Thanks for watching.